Hi everyone. So, having a bit of a problem. Um, I have been scammed in a trade. Um, and people are trying to make it out that somehow I'm the scammer when I sent my end of the trade. So I'm working on having my package sent back to me. Um, for those that may not know, it'll be 2 weeks this coming Saturday, which is tomorrow, that I suffered a mini stroke and I was hospitalized um, for 5 days. So it's been about 2 weeks now. I've been home for about a week, give or take. And I'm trying to recover. I've been off work, so I'm not getting paid. I'll be able to pay rent, and my mom is going to lend me the money to pay the bills. Um, Unfortunately, I can't go back to work full time, so I'm looking into, do I get employment insurance or do I have to go on welfare? What's my next step for finances? Um, During my hospital stay, before I was admitted to the hospital and before I had this stroke, um, I agreed to do a trade with a lady called Megan Crook, and she lives in Quebec, Canada. I was trading her a twin A baby for her Nino baby. Okay, I thought that's a fair trade. First I should have seen this coming, but I swear I've traded with her before or sold to her or bought from her or something. Um anyways, um she was gonna trade me at first for, I can't remember what, there was two. I was gonna trade her twin A and Summer Rain for Nino and I can't remember what other baby. And then it was, oh well, now like the Nino doll is my daughter's and now I don't want to trade you. Can I trade you this other one, which I can't remember what it was? And it wasn't worth as much money as my twin A. And usually that, whatever. I don't care what it's worth, but I wanted the Nino, and I feel that Nino and Twin A are worth about the same amount of money. So I'm like, no, I wanted the Nino for my Twin A and blah, blah, blah. So she's, well, Nino is my daughter's. I have to check with her. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, why would you offer a doll for trade that is not yours? That the person isn't sure they want to trade or whatever. Anyways, finally we agree, yes, we'll trade the Nino for the Twin A. I sent out last week, or maybe, I can't remember when, it was a Tuesday. I have my receipt, but it's in my purse, which is not near me right now. Anyways, I sent out Twin A. First, she was mad at me because when we were first doing our trade, I'm like, okay, it was the weekend, like it was going to be a Saturday, and I'm like, I don't like to ship out on weekends because I've had problems. Like sometimes the weekend post office workers are not knowledgeable, in my opinion, and sometimes if I have shipped on the weekend, the box will sit at the post office and not go out. And then, I'm like, come on, get this thing moving, and it's not moving. And then the person gets upset because their package isn't there yet, not moving or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I will ship on Monday. Well, then I told her, okay, I'm sorry. Um, can we ship Tuesday because, sorry about the noise. I live near the train station. That's the train. I said, I'm sorry, but my parents usually give me a ride to the post office because I don't drive. And there was something going on Monday. I think they had an appointment or something. So I would prefer to ship on Tuesday. Then I can have a ride. I don't have to take the bus. And getting to the post office on the bus before 6. Sorry, this train. Before 6 at night is a bit of a pain in the butt. Jeez, the train today. Anyways, I would have to take the bus after 6 p.m. to get to the post office. Because during the day it's just complicated. They changed the bus system and whatever. Anyways, so I'm like, Tuesday would be better. Is that okay? Then she had a fit. Well, you said Monday, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, if it's going to upset you that much, we can do our sending out on Monday. Then I can't remember. We agreed to Tuesday. Okay, no problem. I was in the hospital at this point. I had my stroke on Saturday, the 26th of February. And I was still in the hospital. And I let her know, but I said my mom can ship out on the Tuesday. Okay, so my mom, I had the baby already packed up and everything. I had my mom send it out, and she brought me a copy of the receipt because I was trying to get her to send me a picture of the tracking number on the receipt. And she kept sending me a picture of the wrong number. And here I am in the hospital. I'm in the ER still because there wasn't a bed for me in the stroke unit. So I'm in the ER. And Mom didn't understand. So she brings me the receipt. I send my trade person a picture of the tracking number on the receipt. And I'm waiting. And then a couple days later, she's like, is this your correct address? And I'm like, yeah. And, I'm still in the hospital recovering from my stroke. So I'm like, whatever. So then I asked her today, I'm like, is there a tracking number for the Nino doll that you sent me? And she's like, oh, I didn't send her yet. I'm going to send her next week or something. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. And I'm like, you scammed me. And she's getting all defensive. And she goes, I'm not a scammer, blah, blah, blah. She's telling me, oh, my grandma fell and broke her ankle and I've been taking care of grandma. And I'm like, okay, like, you should have told me that. And she goes, and like, it's common for people to make up a story and say, oh, this happened and I can't ship for, because grandma broke her knee and I have to take care of grandma. So anyways, I went off on her today. I'm like, you know what? You have scammed me. I'm gonna do get my package back type thing through Canada Post. And then I'm gonna block her. Because that was not our agreement. To me, she has scammed me. And now I'm having other problems with people telling me that I'm a scammer. And I said, I'm not really sure how I'm a scammer when I've kept up my end of the deal. And this lady that I've traded with, that I apparently did a giveaway to. Anyway, she's trying to say that I should be blocked and taken out of all reborn groups. I don't really understand why, and that I'm a scammer. People are not just this one lady that I did the trade with, but other people are saying I'm the scammer because I don't role play with my reborns. I'm like, what does role playing or not role playing have to do with being a scammer? I'm like, scamming is when you know exactly what's been done to me. We agreed to a trade. I send you my doll and you don't send your doll to me. That's scamming, whether you role play or not. has nothing to do with it. So I'm really confused as to why I should be called a scammer because I'm not into role-playing with my reborns. So, yeah, I'm having a really hard time right now. I'm supposed to be recovering from my stroke. And then I've got this lady who scammed me, and I have to deal with all this crap. There really is no excuse for scamming. Like, I'm sorry if your grandmother has broken her ankle, but you shouldn't use that as an excuse to scam someone. Surely you can somehow manage to go to the post office, like leave grandma at home for half an hour or something while you go to the post office, or put her in the car and leave her in the car while you go to the post office, or see if somebody else can sit with her while you go to the post office. Like I had a stroke. I was in the hospital and I managed to get someone to send out the package on my behalf. So I really don't agree with, oh, grandma hurt herself, I think she's using that as an excuse to scam me. And she's going all nasty on me. You should be removed from reborn groups and you've got a foul mouth. And I'm like, for what? Calling you out for something that you did for you being a scammer. I'm sorry, I guess maybe the word scammer in the reborn community over the years has changed. I thought scamming was, as I said, just what I'd been through, where I sent you a trade and you sent me nothing. Or if I send you money and you send me nothing, that's a scam. Or if I send you money or a trade or whatever, and you send me a doll or whatever that is nothing like your pictures or what you described, that's scamming. That did happen to me. I bought a doll twice actually. I bought 2 dolls off of eBay last year, and they were nothing like the pictures. They ended up being those knockoff dolls from China, and one was from the States and one was from Canada. And the person on eBay, they were showing pictures of a totally different doll than what they had. And if they'd shown the scam doll in the first place, I wouldn't have even bothered to bid on it. One was an Ariana and one was a Levi. And they were both the illegal copies. But, anyways, I'm trying to recover from a stroke. And now I've got to deal with this scammer person. People are trying to call me a scammer when, just for what? Because I don't role play? That's not scamming. What someone does or does not do with their collection does not make them a scammer. Anyways, I need to go and get lunch. I'm going through a very difficult time right now. My mom had to have surgery, and she was, she would usually help me, but she can't. My dad had an angina attack. There's really no one to help me. I have to return to work this week, whether I'm ready to or not. I'm not sure where my finances are going. I'm pretty sure I've been approved for welfare, which will give me $778 a month. So that'll pay my rent. That's it. And it's not as easy as people like, oh, just go ahead and sell some of your reborns. As I said, I've had a stroke and I need to de-stress right now. I can't deal with selling reborns right now. I can't deal with take a million pictures of this and that and take a safety photo every day and you're selling illegal knockoffs and blah, blah, blah. I just don't need the stress right now. I know some of my reborns are possibly worth a lot of money, but are they really? You know, because it's me and people don't like me. You know, I'm not one of these top YouTubers or role players or whatever. You know, if I paid $600, for example, I know I paid $600 for some of them. So let's say I paid $600. Okay, what am I gonna get? 300? 200? If you sell for less than 200, they call you a scammer. And you still have to do all the work of all the pictures. And then you have to find, like, you have to have the clothing and the bottles and the pacifiers and the diamonds and the pearls and everything else that, you know, they think they need with their baby. You might as well go and buy out the local baby store and send that with them, you know. I just can't deal with that right now. I can barely walk, so I'm just kind of trying to recover and trying to figure out how I'm going to go back to work next week. I've got some of my shifts covered, but there's still a few shifts I have to work. It doesn't matter if I have to work an hour or 20 hours or 40 hours. I don't know if I can even work an hour, but I have no choice. And it's just going to be me and one other guy during my shift. And how much is he going to be able to help me? You know, he's got his own stuff to do. And kind of like, why should he help me? The owner already thinks I slack off and that I'm too slow when she has no idea. She thinks everyone's too slow and slacks off. But anyway, so if I'm already too slow before I've had my stroke, and now I know I'm even slower, am I going to have a job in a couple months because I'm too slow? I don't know. I really don't know. The doctor from the hospital did send them a note, but I don't know what's going on. We'll have to see, and please don't judge me because I may be on welfare. And please don't tell me to sell my dolls because you all know it's not that easy. And we all know that, you know, reborns tend to decrease in value. The minute the artist ships off that box, you might as well say your reborn is worth half. So your $600 doll is now worth $300. And you still have to send all the extras. And you have to deal with taking all the photos of pretty much every inch of the doll. You have to do updated safety photos and put items in the safety photo that your potential buyer may request, like I've heard of. And I've had people ask me, can you put a spoon in the photo? Can you put a knife? Can you put this? Can you put that? And I'm not up to it right now. And I could be scammed as well because I've heard of people that, you know, they get their doll or whatever they're getting, and then they say item not received or item not as described. And then I'm like, they have the doll, but they're saying they don't, or they're saying it's not as described when it is. And then I'd be out my doll and out my money. So I really don't want to deal with that right now. I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to go back to work. Bye for now.